Amazon just announced they will cut 30,000 corporate jobs. Unfortunately, they are not the only company. Microsoft is cutting 9,000 jobs, UPS 48,000 jobs, Facebook, and there are other companies following the same. During my 6.5 years at Amazon and over 20 years in IT, I have witnessed several of these layoffs. Unfortunately, none of us have that kind of impact or power to stop these layoffs. However, in this video, I'm going to share 10 effective and battle-tested tips that helped me survive several of these layoffs. Now, treat these tips as defense in depth, as in the more of the tips you implement, the more it reduces your chance of getting laid off. With that, let's get started. Tip number 1, have an emergency fund. I personally try to save at least 10% of my income. So it gives me some mental peace, even if I am not being let go, but the layoff is going in my company. If I have some money saved, then I know that I can survive a couple months, which gives me a little bit of the cushion to search for jobs in case I am let go. Tip number 2, deliver what's important for the project and leadership. You may want to do certain projects in the perfect way, which may take way longer. However, delivering what's important to the project and leadership is more important. Else, in tough times, you will come under scrutiny. I'll give an example. So when I was a solutions architect in Verizon, I was tasked to deliver a serverless application. And I wanted to do it the pure serverless way, as in using API Gateway, Lambda, DynamoDB, but API Gateway was not approved. So I delivered the project with Apigee, Lambda, and RDS Oracle. So even though I wanted to deliver it the perfect serverless way, and I thought that will get my name into some Solutions Architect Hall of Fame, but I had to deliver with practical ways. Was I ecstatic about it? No. But was my manager happy? Yes. This project even got me promoted to Distinguished Cloud Architect. Tip number 3, and this actually happens a lot more than you realize. Don't be a difficult guy to work with. There are many examples where a talented guy is let go because he's standoffish, always rejecting others' ideas, always want to be right, is not open to feedback, and always creating conflict. If you are already delivering, just go the extra mile and be nice about it. It's always way harder to fire a relationship than to fire a name. Tip number 4, sometimes a whole group is cut. And oftentimes, this is decided based on how much money your project is bringing to the table. This is a hard one. So if you are in a group which is not growing, using legacy technology in maintenance mode, start upskilling immediately and start creating relationship with other teams who are using modern technologies such as cloud and DevOps and etc. And then try to switch internally or externally before it's too late. I was in such a project in my previous life. So I was in legacy technology, and then I was in maintenance mode, and I could see other teams are growing. And all the new projects and new requirements are going to those teams. So I became super proactive about it, started upskilling and started networking internally. And that's how actually I was able to switch to cloud from mainframe. Tip number 5, be interview ready. I have gone through many interviews even when I was employed at Amazon. I did this not because I wanted to switch, but I wanted to keep myself prepared. Interviewing candidates is not the same as being interviewed. Many of you may be interviewing candidates in your company, but unless you are giving interviews, you are not prepared. You should not be that complacent where you are paralyzed by fear when you are giving interviews after a long time. Sometimes you cannot control your management's behavior, but you can control how much you are prepared in case the worst thing happens. The way I see it is, keep practicing on the track, either practice with someone else or keep giving interviews at a company even if you have no intention of taking the job, so that when the time comes, you are ready to give interviews at other companies that you are interested in. This also helps you grow your career, because even if there is no layoff happening, you can use this to jump up, get more salary. And that's exactly what I did. Before I gave interview at Amazon, I interviewed at 3 other companies to get myself more practice, and I actually cracked those. And only after I was confident that, okay, I can give bigger interviews now, Then I started giving interviews at other big companies where I really wanted to get the job. Tip number 6, in case you are laid off, please use this time to upskill. You already have a set of skills which you are good at. So if you can use this break to add more technology, add newer technology related to what you have been doing, but that can enhance your portfolio, that really helps you. So I'll give an example. Let's say you are a database admin and you have been maintaining databases in on-premises. Now let's say the database admin group is cut. So then learn the related cloud functionality based on databases. Learn how to migrate a database from on-prem to the cloud. What are the different database technology options on AWS, how to select between SQL and NoSQL, how the queries change, what things you need to keep in mind while cost optimizing databases on the cloud. The good thing is it's very similar. If you know how to performance tune a query in on-prem, the logic remains the same. But when you mention to the recruiter in your resume that not only you know about database administration in the on-prem, but you also have knowledge on different equivalent databases on the cloud. You know when to choose one versus the other, pros and cons, and even modernizing some SQL databases to the modern cloud-native NoSQL databases. You set yourself apart from the others. Tip number 7, network. I would highly recommend start networking while you are at a job. So go to the local meetups. You can go to meetup.com and search for your technology of your interest like Kubernetes, AWS, Azure, MongoDB, etc. And then you'll see some meetups happening. Go to these meetups, meet with some people, connect with them, take some pictures, right? And that's related to the next point. And this is the crazy part. In your actual real life, let's say your kitchen sink broke, and then let's say you see someone online with a rating of 4.75, right? And then you call your friend and you ask, hey, do you know someone who can repair my kitchen sink? And your friend gave you a name. And even if the name he gave you has rating of 4.65 or even 4.6, you almost always go with the person because it's from the network. Similarly, 80% of the jobs that are posted are filled from network referrals or direct network connections. So the more connections you make internally and externally, the higher your chances of getting a job. Which brings me to the next tip, which is start upgrading your LinkedIn. Make sure it's up to date. Engage with other people's posts. And remember the upskilling part and going to the meetup part. Whatever you are doing, put them in the LinkedIn. So if you are someone who is a developer or a DevOps person or a security person, try to create small projects, put them in LinkedIn as well as GitHub, right? You went to a meetup, put the picture in the LinkedIn that this is what I did. And it doesn't need to be all just fake and fluff and showy. You can actually share your learnings. You could say that, hey, having deep knowledge in database, I recently went to a meetup, learned about DynamoDB, did a hands-on project, and this is what I found really interesting. Then you can talk about your learnings. Unless you share what you actually did, recruiters have no idea, right? How would recruiters know how much you know? How would a hiring manager know? Unfortunately, the responsibility is on us to share what we know. And I know this part is a little awkward. I have many students who struggle with this part. So I'll tell you the same thing I tell them. Just do this for 2 months, right? Do this while you are searching for a job or you are in the break and you are desperately looking for a new position. And once you get the position, you can stop doing it. Tip number 9, you cannot survive by resisting new technology. Now, this is for desperate times, and this is what I did during 2008 crash. Sign up for extra work and show accountability. This is more true if you are a senior and getting paid more. So when these layoffs happen, companies always see how much money you are bringing or how much responsibility you have versus how much money they are paying you. So there is a time you can just do your regular stuff and coast a little bit. And then there is this stressful times when a lot of changes are happening. So during 2008, I was super scared. I was on a visa in USA. So I just volunteered myself to do a lot more work than I was doing before. And management thought, okay, this guy is delivering way more than he is getting paid. So even though there was a huge amount of layoff in financial company, and I was a consultant in JP Morgan then, working for Cognizant. And for those of you who have been in US during that time, you know a lot of the people were let go, they went to bench, they were sent back home to India. I was able to survive. Which brings me to tip number 10, and the most important tip in my opinion. Comeback is totally possible. In life, besides death, all setbacks are psychological. I am very good friends with Ethan Evans, who is a former Amazon VP who delivered big projects like Amazon Prime, Twitch Gaming, etc. He worked with Jeff Bezos, interviewed with Elon Musk. Did you know that he has been laid off twice in his life? And he realized that when he was depressed, two things he realized. One is some of it he could have done better, right? Second thing is he was depressed, but he was upskilling and improving the areas he could improve 30 minutes every day. So even though I talk about like resilience and motivation, I'm also affected by difficult situations, right? And the only thing I try to do is I accept the situation, I grieve, but then I just devote a little bit of time every day to move forward, right? I study a little bit, I practice a little bit. Action kills anxiety. I hope none of you are in this situation. So if you're not in this situation, great. Start implementing some of these tips. I promise you they will be helpful. This was a difficult video because when I say 30,000 jobs, it really means 30,000 people, right? Who will face a lot of hardship right before the holiday season. I don't take this lightly, and which is why I made this video. So first of all, if you are one of those people who are impacted, feel free to create a LinkedIn post looking for a job. Feel free to tag me and then I'll go comment in your post for increased reach. Remember, we cannot control the larger circumstances in our life. We may never be in the room deciding which jobs to cut and how many, but everyone can do something. I genuinely hope that this video was helpful. Hopefully you realize that you can change some workplace behavior or perhaps start doing some of these tips, and that might protect you someday from these layoffs. Best of luck, and I hope you are not impacted. And if you are impacted, I genuinely wish you all the luck. Take care. See you in the next one.